Welcome back to another Tea Time with Jen. This is the season finale of season 3. It's actually really late because we have been sick. So I ended up with a bug. My husband ended up with a bug. And today I actually have it again. But so if I need to stop this and press play again, that is why. But I thought I'd take a few minutes and do my season finale for Tea Time with Jen because I think it's an important topic and one I don't want to miss. And there's all kinds of exciting news coming this week. So I already have a video that I had already recorded on Sunday for Wednesday's video. And then I have some exciting news coming out for Friday's video. But I wanted to get into today's topic. I have my tea over here. I'm not going to drink it right this second. It's some lemon ginger. But today's topic is heart posture and joy, because I think both come hand in hand. Heart posture is... So if you're a Christian, you're probably going to understand what heart posture is. But if you're not, I'm going to try to explain it a little bit. And then I'm going to explain a little bit of the difference between joy and happiness. So heart posture is a choice. Just like body posture and how we decide to sit, if we're slouching or if we're not, different things. Different postures mean different things. Same thing with hand gestures. Everything has its own meaning. That how you position yourself speaks a lot about somebody. That's why people watch body posture during interviews and all over the place. And so when it comes to the heart, it can be a little harder to tell somebody's heart posture from the outside. And a lot of times we don't choose our heart posture with intentionality. And I think that's really, really important that we do that. So for me, some heart postures that I have decided to really do with intentionality, and my husband and I have really decided to do with intentionality, is a heart posture of thankfulness. When things come up that can be hard, we still choose to look at things and try to be thankful for them. Things that can come out of it, look at those silver linings and the little things, the provision that can happen and so forth. That's a choice to view that. And so our heart posture turns into a posture of thankfulness, of God providing these things throughout whatever else is going on. Another one is a heart posture of love, where we try to lead with love, and we've talked about that on previous videos. Really, really looking at you can love a person and not love all the things that they do, and not agree with everything, but you can still love them. You can lead with love even if you're hurting or angry. You can still lead with love. And so making a heart posture of love versus a heart posture of hate, hurt, and anger, and you partner that with so a heart posture of love and a heart posture of thankfulness together helps combat so many things in your life, because your perspective is huge. How you choose to view things can so massively impact your life on so many levels. The other thing we try not to do is we try to not have a heart posture of fear, one of trust and one of hope. And that can be pretty hard sometimes, but it is something that we try really hard to make sure that those are our major heart postures that we choose. And when we are going through something in life, no matter what it is, whether it's positive or negative, we try to really focus on making sure we have that heart of thankfulness. Sometimes when everything's going really well, we aren't just, it's just, becomes natural that it's, I've said thank you before, so I don't need to keep saying it. Or sometimes we take for granted things that people do and we don't always say thank you. Sometimes we take something for granted and we're going with our hormones or our moods or whatever, and we're not leading with a posture of love. Or sometimes some things are so overwhelming that it's hard to lead with hope and have that heart posture. And so the other main pillar, I would say, for a heart posture is that goes with, I'm not saying that's not necessarily a pillar of a heart posture, but when you have a heart posture of thankfulness, when you have a heart posture of love, and you have a heart posture of hope, and you have God in your heart, it really leads to something that really does not make sense to a lot of people, and that is joy. And joy and happiness are two very different things. Happiness is very fleeting. It's an emotion. It can, like, smell of coffee can make me happy, or tea. A really good food can make me happy. My husband bringing me a gift can make me happy. Somebody taking out the trash can make me really happy. Getting to go somewhere can make me very happy. But what happens when somebody's not taking out the trash? And what happens when somebody's not bringing you a surprise gift? Or what happens when you and your spouse have gotten into a little argument? Or what happens when somebody's sick? Or what happens when things aren't going the way that you really want them to go? And you have if you're not happy, the opposite is sad or angry or whatever else with that, right? And so happy is very dependent on outward circumstances and can be influenced by people super easily. Now, joy, on the other hand, is something that comes with that love and that hope and all those pillars of that heart posture. When you have your heart posture right, and the thankfulness, if you have your heart posture right, it doesn't matter what's going on in life. It doesn't matter if you're going through a storm. It doesn't matter if something great is happening. You're going to have a joy that doesn't go away. That's not wishy-washy and doesn't get taken out by the waves or the wind or whatever else. It's firm. It's on a solid foundation. It's concreted down, and you can laugh through the tears. You can have really, really hard and really bad things happen. But because you have hope, because you have love, because you have thankfulness, and you have a trust in God, you can have this underlying joy that everything's going to be okay. And you can be happy and thankful and all of these things. I said happy. Be joyful and thankful and all of these things through so many hardships, through so many things. And that is a choice. It is 100% a choice that can be made. And I think when you're choosing to live with intentionality, which is really what our channel is about, you have to choose. And sometimes you're in survival mode and you can't choose everything, right? But as you start to practice and as you're starting to live with intentionality, you can choose to lead with love and get used to that and have that become a habit that's formed for you. So that becomes more of your knee-jerk reaction. You can choose to have a heart of thankfulness, and that will start to come and have it happen. You can choose to have joy. You can choose to have joy even through hard times. You can choose your perspective on how you're choosing to view things. And if you're looking at the storm and focusing on all of the storm and all these crazy things that are going on in your life that you can't control, that can be horrible if somebody dies or something happens. There can be horrible things that are going on, but you can still have deep rooted joy, and you can still cry and have sadness when you have joy, but the root of your core is joyful. Your circumstantial surface feelings that still can run deeper, but they're not like the foundation, can still have sadness. They can be grief. They can have all of these things. There can be a little bit of fear there, but in the end, what wins is that joy. And that is a choice that can absolutely be made. Now, I have lived without that joy, and I have lived intentionally putting that joy as a focus with these other pillars, right? Because I have these other pillars, it makes joy that much easier to be able to intentionally have and to experience. And so if you are going through things in your life, and as you are choosing to live with intention, I highly look at the why are you here? Why were you created? The purpose, the reason, what are you supposed to do with your life? All of those things come down to big intentionality on choosing, okay, so if this is what I'm here for, this is what I'm called to, this is my purpose, these are my talents that God has given me, these are the things that are there that I can contribute into the world. And look at all these things, that the blessings that God gives, and there will be blessings through storms, and there will be positive in the middle of the negative. And that doesn't matter if you follow God or not. There's still going to be positive with negative. It's how this world works. Okay. How you decide to view. Now, the hope can be different. The way you love, the who you're thanking, all of that is different depending on if you're a Christian or not, or what religion you are, and so forth. But for me, true joy comes from knowing the Lord and knowing that He loves me. He loved me so much that He sent His Son and died for me. And when you consider all the things that went through in the creation of this world, and how the plants interact and animals interact, and humans are being God breathed into creation, into existence, and you look at what His purpose is and what His heart is through the Bible, it's so much easier to have that joy. And so if you are searching and you are trying to figure out these things, or you know God, but you're having a hard time figuring out the peace, the love, the hope, the letting go of things that aren't yours to control, having a thankful heart, and to really have joy deep inside of your heart, then I really suggest doing some studies into who God says you are, and who God is. And in finding out how much you are deeply loved. And I think that there is something, I'm going to correlate this into a relationship thing, because there is something when you're first dating, you have that giddy, like, attraction, flirtatious happiness that bubbles out, right? Like, you're super excited to see the person every single time, and it's new, it's exciting, it's fresh. But as you have been, my husband and I have now been married for 7.5 years, been together 7 years, been together about 8.5 years, and Whereas I still get those butterflies and I still get things, but it's not the same. It's not the same as when we first dated. It is now a deep rooted love that I don't have to worry about what he thinks about what I'm wearing necessarily or what I'm doing. Because when you're first dating, you have those oh, I want to impress and I want to do things. Now he doesn't care if I fart in front of him or whatever else, right? We've been married for a long time. We know each other very well. And it's a comfortable, true, deep love that doesn't break. And you still have to be intentional in building that relationship. But every step that you're building it, every year that you're building it, you're building another layer of trust, of love, and all of these things. Well, it's the same thing in a relationship with God. And so the stronger you have that relationship with God, the longer you've had it, the more you know each other and the more you're comfortable with each other, the more you're going to be able to feel that joy, to feel that peace, to feel that love, to feel all those things. And so that's what this season finale conversation is just really looking at the heart posture of your life. You have a choice. And I'm focusing on, anytime I talk about intentionality, it's what you can do. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing around you. It doesn't matter of who your spouse is or how they respond or how your friends are or what your job's like or anything like that. When you live with intentionality, it's you choosing what's going on in you, what's going on in your heart, what's going on in your mind, your actions that you choose to make, and not just responding to everything around you, but acting instead of reacting. And so that's what heart posture is doing that and choosing these main things to have be a focus in your life. And so I hope that gives you some food for thought. I know this isn't a super long video, but again, I'm not feeling super great. And so I just wanted to make sure that this has been on my heart. It's actually been joy and happiness was a topic at church a couple months ago. And then heart posture has really been a forefront the last few years for us. It really is something that we have been choosing to do, and sometimes we do it well and sometimes we don't, because we're human and we mess up, and we're still learning with intention, making choices with intention. And so I hope this inspires you to dig deep into intentionality into these areas and really focus on what your heart posture is, because that's what you can control. You can't control everybody else's heart posture, but you can live by example. And I just want to thank you for joining for season 3. I'm hoping there'll be a season 4. But I thank you for joining for season 3. It's Tea Time with Jen, and I have all kinds of fun, exciting news coming towards the end of this week. And then there's going to be a big shift when it comes to videos. It'll still have similar content, but the type of, I guess, how am I going to word it? There's just going to be a big shift. There'll be a lot of similar things, but just done differently. It's very confusing to say that way, but stay tuned for Friday's video. It will make sense, I promise you. And because it's talking about what's next in our journey, and stay tuned for that. I thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow back on this channel for a really quick garden update. We'll talk to you later. Bye.